Pattern. After years of assorted forgettables, hand-me-downs, rust buckets, gas-guzzling, money-sucking, skyhawks, and Monzas, when for the first time I see my Mazda on the lot, brand spanking new, all $20,000 of it without a scratch, fenders sleek and intact, not a spot of rust on the underbelly, the finest feline within my price range I've ever laid eyes on. It doesn't cross my mind I'm taking a big gamble. I'm as cool as Catherine Deneuve in the breaking light of dawn, coming home from the all-night casino in a trench coat that John Paul Belmondo or Bogart might wear, pockets stuffed with winnings. I don't ask, so I don't know. How can I possibly know when I lay down my cash and pull the lever, mouth watering in anticipation that the spinning cymbals, 3 perfect lemons, will align just like that, propitiously? Then, within the first month, I'll hit the jackpot again. Rammed once, towed twice, and that damned skunk will leave behind its lucky streak, all over my faux leather interior. School. The child slides down the long neck of the week into Friday. Slouched at his desk, he has a target on his forehead. The teacher wants an answer. He shrugs it off the way he shrugs off his backpack. All this energy trapped inside him, biding its time, waiting for him to shed his chrysalis. Quietly he floats in the canoe of thought, moved by its gentle ebb and flow. Downwind, familiar sounds, the plash of a cast-off net, a fish line trembling over spangled water. It is morning there, but over here the teacher keeps at him, as though his brain were a cabbage she is helping to grow. Smiling but firm, she says encouraging things like, "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." He wishes she would see that he is not a dwarf planet. If she cared an iota, she'd know about the swirl and eddy of life around him, starting with his grandfather's cabin and the long blue arms of the sky. He knows from memory the music of frisky mosquitoes and snapping twigs. Everything he needs is in the physics of the moving water, translucent with fish. Morning with Paintbrush. The umber wave of morning heaved. I felt nausea only. Outside, in tatters, the exhausted grass, gnarled trees in sickly grays. I painted. I painted as the sky choked and summer drained through the cooling soil. I painted through the ghoulish season of pumpkins and corn husks, through hoarfrost. I painted as the dark snow left handprints on our windows. Color returned me to the earth. The painting intensified through the exhaust of cars and their alarming headlights. I painted as the gunman entered through an emergency door no one had locked. I painted through the sirens and ambulances, through news bulletins and the steady rain of bullets. I painted as the children hid under chalkboards and chairs, as the universe tried to tell me over and over again, there are 2 sorts of human. One is relentless. He sees in his fervor what he chooses to see. Letter to Albert. First it was the last rites, then the cadenced lull after that storm knocked the socks off Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, and Prince Edward Island. You in your death wrap are oblivious. Everything bright is covered in snow. I want to apologize for the impoverished day. So little to point to honor your leaving. Except maybe the apple on my desk, strangely radiant in its rinse of light. 5 a.m., the morning of your mother's funeral. If the day can't stand at half-mast, it should remain at the very least in partial shadow. Only the barest inkling of sun on the horizon. Dwindling poplars should lament the night's bitter aftertaste. I'm headed east in the florid darkness of a motor coach shaped like a bullet, long and silver, with passing flashes through the windows. Showy billboards advertising carry-on luggage for that trip of a lifetime. Cars with their receding taillights floating down the highway. The world should stay this way the entire day, dusky, sleepy, nothing its true color. The sky washed out or sealed in an atmospheric coma. When I blink again, clouds become the haunches of an Arctic wolf advancing on its prey. And what I take for the scattering light, it's the charged particle of a willful star severing ties with the earth. Watching you do Tai Chi at dawn. There's a burgeoning gap in the sky as the clouds part above you in a distant realm where sand lice and the latrine stench of declining civilizations are virtually non-existent. And like me, you're here, but somehow you're not. What I admire is not you or the hulking freighter of what you know. What's awesome is your coexistence with the flea-sized minutiae of the galaxy. You, graceful as a gull, the perfectly stilled world in your gaze. It could be any day, but it's Friday. Tomorrow we return to the city. And so I study you as an artist scans the planes and curves of a partially lit stone. But there's no great revelation. The earth doesn't shake or rumble with meaning as a rosy light settles over the beach. There's just one crested wave, and then another, and another.